ever make a sucker out of you? This is a matter of principle. Something you probably wouldn't understand.
What if the Hollywood glamour you know was built on lies? During the golden age, LGBTQ+ stars lived in the shadows, forced into fake marriages, secret relationships, and even scandals arranged by studios. These 20 shocking and hidden truths expose the dark reality behind Hollywood's golden facade. Stay tuned for the secrets they never wanted you to know. Number 1. Rock Hudson. Being one of Hollywood's most celebrated leading men, Rock Hudson lived a carefully constructed double life as a closeted gay man during the golden age of Hollywood. Born as Roy Harold Scherer Jr., he was transformed into Rock Hudson by his agent Henry Wilson, who groomed him into the epitome of American masculinity. Hudson starred in iconic films like Giant, 1956, Pillow Talk, 1959, and All That Heaven Allows in 1955, becoming a symbol of heterosexual desire. Behind the scenes, however, Hudson had relationships with men, including short-term boyfriends and secret lovers. To maintain his public image, he entered a 3-year marriage of convenience with Phyllis Gates, his agent's secretary, though it was widely understood within the industry that this was a sham. Even though Hollywood insiders largely knew about Hudson's sexuality, they kept it secret to protect his career. Friends like Doris Day and other colleagues avoided discussing his private life publicly, and the studio system worked tirelessly to maintain his wholesome image. Tabloids occasionally attempted to expose him, but these efforts were obstructed by powerful industry figures. Hudson's diagnosis with AIDS in 1984 marked a turning point. His death in 1985 brought unprecedented attention to the AIDS epidemic and changed public perceptions of homosexuality in Hollywood.
Friends, make peace. Have a shake on me.
Number 2. Cesar Romero. What secrets lurked behind the dazzling smile of Hollywood's most charming Latin lover? How did a Cuban-American actor navigate the treacherous waters of sexuality during the golden age of Hollywood? Cesar Romero, standing 6 feet 3 inches tall with his signature trimmed mustache, was a classic Hollywood heartthrob who masterfully concealed his homosexuality. While publicly presenting as a suave, eligible bachelor, Romero was privately open about his sexuality within the entertainment circles. Hollywood insiders knew what the public did not. Romero was gay, maintaining long-term relationships with actors like Tyrone Power and Gene Raymond. His social life was a carefully choreographed performance. Romero was known for attending every possible social event, reportedly even the opening of a napkin, with an extensive wardrobe of over 30 tuxedos, 200 sports coats, and 500 tailored suits. His nickname in Hollywood was ironically Butch, a term that masked his true identity. The entertainment industry's unwritten rule demanded silence. Being openly gay would have meant his career destruction. Romero's homosexuality was an open secret among colleagues who respected the need for discretion in an era of extreme social prejudice. His legendary role as the Joker in Batman and numerous romantic lead roles were his shield, protecting him from potential exposure and professional ruin.
Are you sure there were no questions about your schooling?
Objection. The witness
Number 3. Montgomery Clift. Montgomery Clift emerged as a complex figure in Hollywood's golden age, living a life of calculated discretion. Bisexual and unapologetically passionate, Clift had romantic relationships with both men and women, including alleged affairs with Truman Capote, Roddy McDowall, and theater director Jerome Robbins. Despite popular narratives portraying him as tortured, a 2018 documentary, Making Montgomery Clift, revealed a more nuanced reality. While he struggled with substance abuse, Clift was reportedly comfortable with his sexual identity among trusted friends like Elizabeth Taylor and others. Elizabeth Taylor, his closest confidant, knew of his homosexuality and remained fiercely loyal to him, even saving his life after a near-fatal car accident in 1956. The Hollywood studio system ruthlessly suppressed any hint of non-heterosexual behavior, though. The Hays Code, a strict set of film regulations, effectively criminalized any representation of homosexuality, forcing actors like Clift to live in perpetual fear of exposure. His career existed in a delicate balance between artistic brilliance and potential professional destruction, a proof to the brutal realities of the mid-20th century Hollywood.
I don't suppose you noticed what the young man looked like.
Would you like to see?
Number 4, Raymond Burr. How could a single actor maintain an elaborate web of lies in the unforgiving landscape of the mid-20th century Hollywood? Raymond Burr's life was a masterclass in survival and deception. Born in Canada, he crafted a complex mythology around his personal life, inventing tragic narratives about deceased wives and children to deflect suspicion about his sexuality. His only documented marriage to Isabella Ward in 1947 ended in divorce. Yet he continued spinning elaborate tales about multiple marriages and lost family members. But here's the shocking twist. Burr's fabrications weren't just random stories. Instead, they were carefully orchestrated survival mechanisms in an era where homosexuality could instantly destroy an actor's career. In 1959, Burr met Robert Benavides, beginning a 35-year relationship that remained hidden from public view. Close friends like Dean Hargrove acknowledged Burr's ability to mythologize himself, creating stories that grew more elaborate with time. Hollywood insiders like Arthur Marks recognized these narratives as deliberate cover-ups, with one producer stating he knew Burr was just putting on a show. The studio system actively participated in this concealment, understanding that an actor's marketability depended on maintaining a heterosexual public image. Burr's successful careers in Perry Mason and Ironside were built upon this carefully constructed image, showing how tough the entertainment industry was in the mid-1900s.
Well, I like privacy when I retire. Yes, I'm very delicate in that respect. Prying eyes annoy me.
Number 6, Clark Gable. Clark Gable's early career was marked by extraordinary survival tactics that blurred moral boundaries. According to biographer David Brett, Gable was part of Hollywood's notorious Lavender Ladder, a complex sexual trade network where aspiring actors exchanged sexual favors for career advancement. Marlene Dietrich famously described Gable as an opportunist who would sleep with anyone.
Tired of expensive, low-effort scriptwriters for your YouTube channel? Autoscripter.ai is the ultimate solution. Say goodbye to low-quality, poorly retention amateur scripts that fail to generate thousands of views for your channel. At a fraction of the cost, Autoscripter.ai helps your videos go viral. In just 3 steps, Autoscripter.ai creates a polished script tailored to your needs. Just input your title concept, select your tone and style. The intuitive interface makes editing and refining effortless, fast, smart, and trusted by hundreds of satisfied users who have already discovered the amazing tool. Start your free trial today and watch Autoscripter.ai transform your YouTube channel. Just click the link in the video description below now.
Particularly noting his willingness to engage with men for potential professional benefits. His most documented homosexual encounter was with actor William Haynes, with whom he reportedly cruised for working-class men in parks, occasionally accepting money for sexual interactions. Interestingly, Gable maintained a complex sexual identity. While engaging in homosexual encounters, he was simultaneously married multiple times and had numerous heterosexual affairs. Biographers suggest he often played a passive role in his same-sex encounters, a detail that challenged contemporary masculine narratives. Gable's ability to navigate these complex sexual dynamics ultimately contributed to his legendary status as the King of Hollywood.
Prince, this man speaks treason.
It is not treason to want freedom.
Number 7, Vincent Price. Vincent Price's sexuality was a complex patchwork of hidden encounters and carefully constructed public personas. His third marriage to actress Coral Brown was a classic lavender marriage, a strategic union between two queer individuals maintaining societal appearances. Scotty Bowers, Hollywood's notorious sexual fixer, claimed Price engaged in numerous homosexual encounters, describing their interactions as pleasant, unhurried, gentle. But here's a shocking twist. Price was investigated in the late 1960s for alleged inappropriate relationships with underage men, though he was never formally indicted. His daughter Victoria Price openly confirmed his bisexuality, stating that his sexuality was fluid within their family. Price was part of Hollywood's secret underground sexual network, using intermediaries like Scott Bowers to arrange discreet encounters. Despite the constant risk of exposure, he maintained a successful career spanning horror films, art criticism, and television. Price's ability to navigate these complex sexual dynamics ultimately contributed to his legendary status in entertainment history.
Do you like girls?
Of course. But do we have time?
Number 8. Tab Hunter. What hidden forces worked behind the scenes of 1950s Hollywood, threatening to reveal the deepest secrets of its biggest stars? Tab Hunter's life was a masterclass in survival and deception. Born Arthur Andrew Kelm, he was transformed into a marketable Hollywood icon by agent Henry Wilson, who specialized in representing beefcake male stars. His 1950 arrest for disorderly conduct at a gay party threatened to destroy his nascent career, a moment that epitomized the constant terror faced by LGBTQ+ actors during Hollywood's golden age. Warner Brothers actively manufactured Hunter's heterosexual image, staging dates with actresses like Natalie Wood and Debbie Reynolds. These were pure fabrications, what Hollywood insiders mockingly called Natalie Wood and Tab Wouldn't, designed to suppress rumors about his sexuality. Hunter's most significant romantic relationship was with actor Anthony Perkins, which lasted 2 to 4 years. They ultimately separated due to studio pressures, with Hunter later describing Perkins as, quote, a special part of my journey. It wasn't until 2005, through his memoir Tab Hunter Confidential, that he publicly acknowledged his homosexuality, finally freeing himself from decades of enforced secrecy.
Oh, yes. Here we are. Marie Samuel.
Number 9. Anthony Perkins. Anthony lived a life of extraordinary complexity, carefully balancing his homosexual relationships with a meticulously constructed heterosexual image. His relationship with Tab Hunter was passionate, but ultimately suppressed by Paramount Studios, with studio president Barney Balbin actively pressuring Perkins to end the romance and even suggesting conversion therapy. Perkins had numerous same-sex affairs with notable figures, including Rudolph Valentino, Stephen Sondheim, and choreographer Grover Dale. Despite these relationships, he strategically married model Barry Berenson at age 41, having his first heterosexual sexual experience with actress Victoria Principal. The Hollywood studio system ruthlessly controlled Perkins's image, denying him serious roles and attempting to transform into a matinee idol. Paramount invested $15 million in manufacturing his heterosexual persona, forcing him into teen romantic roles while suppressing his true identity. Tragically, Perkins died of AIDS in 1982, leaving behind a legacy of a man who was simultaneously celebrated and constrained by Hollywood's brutal sexual politics. Number 10. Rudolph Valentino. Rudolph Valentino lived a life of extraordinary sexual complexity, challenging the rigid heterosexual norms of 1920s Hollywood. Biographer David Brett suggests Valentino was openly bisexual, frequenting Los Angeles' notorious Torch Club for same-sex encounters. But here's a twist. His first marriage to actress Jean Acker, herself a lesbian, was never consummated. She locked him out on their wedding night and fled to her female lover's apartment. Valentino reportedly had sexual encounters with multiple men, including actor Gary Cooper and close friend Paul Ivano. His second wife, Natasha Rambova, was part of a legendary lesbian theatrical circle, further complicating his sexual narrative. The industry's reaction was complex. While publicly celebrating him as the Latin lover behind closed doors, Valentino's sexual fluidity was an open secret. His androgynous performances and fashion-forward style challenged contemporary masculinity, making him both a sex symbol and a subject of intense speculation about his true sexual identity.
Full-time night woman?
Number 11, Will Geer. Now, how could a single performer navigate the treacherous landscape of mid-20th century entertainment while challenging societal norms? Will Geer lived a life of extraordinary complexity, balancing his activism, sexuality, and artistic career with a remarkable courage. His romantic relationship with gay rights activist Harry Hay was a crucial moment in his personal journey, challenging the heteronormative expectations of 1930s Hollywood. Though they eventually separated when Geer chose to marry actress Herta Ware and have children, their connection remained a significant part of his hidden sexual narrative. Interestingly, Geer found redemption through The Waltons, where he played Grandpa Zebulon Walton, a role that ironically represented traditional family values, while he himself, lived a life of radical sexual and political nonconformity. His Emmy-winning performance became a signature to his remarkable ability to survive Hollywood's most challenging era.
I was trained as a student to play with lead weights on my fingers.
Number 12, Liberace. Liberace was a master of sexual deception, carefully crafting a public persona that defied contemporary understanding of sexuality. Despite his overwhelmingly camp performances, he consistently denied being gay, even winning libel suits against publications that suggested otherwise. His relationship with Scott Thorson was perhaps his most scandalous secret, a 6-year romance where he went so far as to pay for plastic surgery to make Thorson look like his younger version. The entertainment industry tacitly supported his charade. Palm Springs became a sanctuary, a place where his same-sex relationships could exist. His female fans remained blissfully unaware, with thousands even supporting his brief engagement to a woman. Tragically, Liberace died of AIDS in 1987, a victim of the very secrecy he had maintained throughout his career. Betty White, his close friend, would later confirm what everyone had suspected, that Liberace was indeed gay, living a life of extraordinary performance both on and off the stage.
And I found that he had tapes of Maurice Evans, John Barrymore, all the people he admired, Olivier.
Number 13, Sir John Gielgud. Sir John Gielgud, one of the most celebrated actors of the 20th century, was renowned for his powerful stage presence and mastery of Shakespearean roles. In 1953, John was arrested for cottaging, attempting to solicit sexual encounters in a public lavatory, a moment that threatened to destroy his entire career. Despite the potential scandal, Gielgud received unexpected support from his theatrical colleagues, with Dame Sybil Thorndike famously walking him on stage during a performance of A Day by the Sea, where he received a standing ovation. The British government was acutely aware of his sexuality, with documents revealing their hesitation about granting him a knighthood. Gielgud maintained long-term relationships, most notably with Martin Hensler, whom he publicly acknowledged only in 1988. Ironically, his arrest became a pivotal moment in the campaign to decriminalize homosexuality in England and Wales, transforming a personal humiliation into a broader social catalyst.
You just put your finger on it. What? You need professional help. Yeah, well, a neat freak with a cattle prod.
Number 14, Tony Randall. Tony Randall, born Arya Leonard Rosenberg, lived a life that constantly blurred the lines between perception and reality. Despite persistent rumors about his sexuality, Randall maintained a heterosexual public image, being married twice, first to Florence Gibbs for 54 years, and then to Heather Darlin, 50 years his junior, with whom he had 2 children. His most intriguing moment came with the television series Love, Sidney, where he portrayed Sidney Shore, a character initially written as a middle-aged homosexual man. However, the character's sexuality was deliberately made ambiguous for the series, reflecting the industry's complex approach to LGBTQ+ representation. Randall's effeminate mannerisms and cultural interests, opera, theater, and arts advocacy, often sparked speculation about a sexual orientation. Yet he consistently presented himself as heterosexual, even writing in his memoir that publicity should focus on his work, not his personal life. His legacy remains a fascinating study of Hollywood's intricate dance between public perception and private reality.
Don't you want to see? No, you either. Get out of here!
Number 15, Montgomery Clift. Montgomery Clift was an unabashedly bisexual actor who defied contemporary Hollywood narratives about sexual identity. Contrary to popular myths of self-loathing, Clift was remarkably comfortable with his sexuality, cheerfully dating both men and women. His close friend Jack Larson described him as someone who, quote, loved to have fun, and was closer to Jerry Lewis's comedic spirit than his brooding on-screen persona suggested. The industry's reaction was complex. While actors like John Wayne and John Huston made homophobic remarks, Clift refused to compromise his identity. His mother, Ethel Clift, was reportedly aware of his homosexuality from a young age, noting he was a homosexual very early, around 12 or 13, she said. Elizabeth Taylor became his closest confidant, standing by him even after he revealed his sexuality. Their profound relationship transcended Hollywood's rigid social norms, with Taylor supporting him through personal struggles and even saving his life after a near-fatal car accident in 1956. Clift's legacy challenges the traditional narrative of tortured gay Hollywood actors. He was open, vibrant, and unapologetically himself. Number 16, George Nader. George Nader lived a life maintaining a long-term relationship with Mark Miller since 1947, while carefully concealing his homosexuality. Unlike many of his contemporaries, Nader found a unique way to challenge Hollywood's heteronormative expectations through his groundbreaking science fiction novel Chrome in 1978, which featured an openly positive same-sex relationship. His close friendship with Rock Hudson was particularly significant. Both actors understood the industry's brutal expectations, with Nader often being cast in Hudson's leftovers at Universal Pictures. At 6 foot 1 inches tall and 180 pounds, Nader was a quintessential beefcake actor, frequently appearing shirtless in films that emphasized his physical appeal. After an eye injury forced his retirement in 1974, Nader transformed his narrative. He and Miller settled between Palm Springs and Hawaii, living openly as a gay couple during an era when such visibility could destroy careers. His legacy transcends his acting, becoming a quiet revolutionary who challenged Hollywood's rigid sexual norms through subtle resistance and artistic expression.
Take Thelma Lou to the party. But Barney, it's Helen's party, and Helen's my girl.
Number 17, Merv Griffin. Merv Griffin lived a life of extraordinary complexity, carefully concealing his homosexuality while becoming one of Hollywood's most powerful producers. Despite publicly dating actress Eva Gabor as a beard, Griffin quietly maintained same-sex relationships throughout his career. In the early 1990s, he faced 2 significant lawsuits: a $200 million palimony suit by Brent Plott and $11.5 million sexual harassment suit by Danae Torino, both of which were ultimately dismissed. Well, here's a reason people would have never even imagined about his true sexuality. Griffin was known for firing openly gay employees in his own company, viewing them as a threat to his carefully constructed public image. His sardonic response to sexual questions was telling that, in 2005, he quipped to the New York Times that he was quarter-sexual. "I'll do anything with anybody for a quarter," he said. The entertainment industry tacitly supported his charade, with major publications avoiding direct discussions of his sexuality until after his death in 2007. Griffin's legacy remains a complex narrative of survival, success, and the brutal sexual politics of mid-20th century Hollywood.
That spaghetti bender. She don't work hard enough all day beside taking care of the baby. Comes Wednesday night, she's got to knock herself out, teaching these moms how to...
Number 18, Kerwin Mathews. Best known for his iconic roles in fantasy films like The Seventh Voyage of Sinbad, 1958, Mathews maintained a carefully constructed public persona that masked his true sexual identity. By the early 1960s, Mathews had grown weary of Hollywood's restrictive environment. He ultimately moved to San Francisco with his long-term partner, actor Robert Haynes, where they lived openly together until Mathews' death in 2007. Despite being typecast in adventure films, Mathews found liberation outside Hollywood's rigid social structures. His transition from a mainstream leading man to a quietly revolutionary figure who lived authentically became his most profound performance. A life lived between the lines of social expectations and personal truth. Mathews died on July 5, 2007, leaving behind a legacy that challenged Hollywood's heteronormative narratives.
Oh, Albright. I didn't know she was. I don't think she did it. I think you're wrong.
Okay.
Number 19, Paul Lynde. Paul Lynde, America's most beloved comedic personality, never formally came out, but his comedy was a thinly veiled exploration of his own sexual identity. On Hollywood squares, his jokes were often subversive gay humor that somehow slipped past mainstream audiences, making him a secret queer icon. While he never publicly acknowledged being gay, close friends understood his true identity. His alcoholism and occasional violent outbursts were potentially manifestations of the immense psychological pressure of maintaining this facade. Tragically, Lynde died of a heart attack in 1982 at the age of 55, just 2 years after quitting drinking. His legacy remains complex. A comedian who made gay humor palatable for American homes while maintaining perpetually closeted, a man who made millions laugh while hiding his most authentic self.
It was a terrible thing.
It was ghastly. I was informed of it when I came off stage.
Number 20, Jack Cassidy. Jack Cassidy, a versatile actor known for his roles on stage and screen, had a tumultuous personal life. He was married twice, first to Evelyn Ward and then to Shirley Jones, with whom he had 3 sons, who would also enter the entertainment industry. While married to actress Shirley Jones, rumors swirled about Cassidy's bisexuality. He was known to have had relationships with both men and women, and his personal struggles included issues with alcohol, took a toll on his career and family life. Cassidy's sexuality was a poorly kept secret in the Hollywood industry, but he never publicly addressed it. Cassidy's career was a testament to his remarkable talent, winning a Tony Award, receiving multiple nominations, and establishing himself as a prominent television and stage actor. His tragic death in 1976, burning in his West Hollywood apartment after falling asleep while smoking, became a haunting footnote to a complex life. The entertainment industry's reaction was one of mourning for a talented performer whose potential was cut short by personal demons. And there you have it, 20 of the most shocking and scandalous gay secrets from the old golden age of Hollywood. If you enjoyed this deep dive into Hollywood's dark side, don't forget to check out some of our previous videos where we dive into more untold Hollywood scandals and hidden truths. You'll find plenty of juicy stories you don't want to miss. Hit that like button, subscribe, and let us know your thoughts in the comments below. See you in the next one.